WWE Clash at the Castle 2022. Clash will be taking place in Cardiff, Wales at the Principality Stadium. And we're going to start off with the 6-woman tag match. Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka are teaming up against Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. On this week's Raw, Belair, Bliss, and Asuka had a 6-woman tag against 3 local competitors. Dakota and Io lost in the Raw main event to Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah, failing to capture the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships in the tournament finals. That was very shocking to me.
Oh yeah, me too. I figured this tournament was built around to get Io and Dakota the titles, but
yeah, very
I guess not.
Questionable. Yeah, I don't know.
I was predicting they'd win, and then we'd have the babyface return of Sasha and Naomi, but yeah, maybe something didn't get worked out. We don't know.
That's very true. So I'm gonna go with. Just because, this is the first time the 3 of them have teamed up in the ring. They need this win. Bayley, Dakota and Io, they're all back. I think they need this big win, and this could be motivation for Bayley to, I guess, probably get a Raw Women's title shot at the next pay-per-view, whatever that is. So I'm going to go with Damage Control. I think that's their faction name. Bayley, Io, and Dakota. Name. Yes, the unofficial official.
I'm also going to go with Bayley, Io, and Dakota. I think it will give Bayley an actual reason to have a Raw Women's Championship match because she hasn't won anything yet. And however, I think probably Alexa Bliss probably take the pin.
Yeah.
She seems like the one in the team to take the pin.
Yeah,
because Asuka's always been a little protected, and Bianca's the champion. So I think Alexa takes the pin. It makes everyone good, I guess. Bayley, Io, and Dakota. I almost said Io the Sky. I don't even know.
Io Sky.
I almost botched it like Bayley did the other week, eh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, like I said with Kenny's prediction, he is going to go for Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky as well. So we're all tied on that prediction. Next up, WWE Intercontinental Championship match. Gunther, I'm assuming he's going to be with Ludwig Kaiser at ringside there, with versus Sheamus, and he'll probably have the Brawling Brutes in his corner, Rich Holland and Butch, of course. On last night's Smackdown, Butch he had his original ring gear, so hopefully that's a sign that maybe the Bruiserweight will start coming back into the fold, that gimmick. He defeated Ludwig Kaiser in a singles match. Afterward, the IC champ Gunther and Sheamus had a stare down to close that segment out. I'm going to go Gunther here because I think especially now that Triple H is, at the helm, I think he'll want to keep Gunther looking strong. Now, I'm not ruling out that they could have another match in which Sheamus wins because Sheamus is going to be the IC champ at some point.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't think it's at this show. And I don't know, if I could fantasy book a little bit, I think maybe Butch, he could, pull a little fast one. And because he's just crazy, so he could really do anything. And maybe Gunther, we can have a string of segments on SmackDown where Gunther's trying to calm Butch down and bring him back to the Bruiserweight kind of gimmick. And, with harsh training, the chop fest and all that. And we could maybe see Butch and Imperium. I think that would be cool because they are missing that third guy since Fabian Eichner's now Giovanni Vinci on NXT. But, that's my thoughts.
Well... Yeah, I'm gonna go with Gunther as well. I was thinking in my head before you said it. It was kind of like you read my mind there. It was some kind of sketched out of you now. I was thinking, Sheamus will win it eventually, but I don't think he'll be the one to beat Gunther.
Yeah.
If he does win the Intercontinental Championship, I feel like it'll be maybe like a multi-man match where Gunther doesn't take the pin.
Yeah, something to make them look strong.
Like say they do like a triple threat with like Madcap Moss or something later this fall or at some point or at pay-per-view. Yeah. I'll go Gunther this time, but I really want to see your idea with Butch and Gunther backstage and all that take place because they do have history.
That's right.
Walter at the time beat Pete Dunne for the UK Championship. So.
Rest in peace, NXT UK.
Oh yeah.
But Hey,
well,
NXT Europe's
I don't know if it's
coming.
really a shame or not because who watched it?
That's true. You'd be hard pressed to find people, especially where we are, that watched it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so for Kenny's prediction, he is also going to go the Ring General Gunther. So very much looking forward to that match. That could be the match of the night. Speaking of match of the night, though, here's another contender. Seth freaking Rollins versus Matt Riddle. He got his name back on Raw this week. Very happy to see that. So the two had a very heated exchange on this week's Raw. WWE showed us so the interview initially wrapped up. Corey was hosting this interview between Rollins and Matt Riddle. It was a back and forth, and when it eventually went off to commercial break, but they panned back to what happened. So right before they got to commercial, Riddle was mocking Seth by calling Becky Lynch the man in their marriage, and Seth responded with, and I quote, "You want to talk about my family? Let's talk about your family. Oh wait, you don't got one because your wife divorced you and took your kids, and they don't want to see your bitch ass anymore." End quote. Riddle then wanted to know where Seth was, then said, "I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna fuck you up," but that obviously got blurred out.
Yeah.
And both left the room. Riddle left seething, so that added a whole other level to this feud. And I was always interested in this feud, but that go home Raw, it really, I think, probably sold a lot of people just getting hype. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this is
I was sitting on the couch, phone in my face, like what happens sometimes. I believe this took place right after a commercial break, did it not?
Yeah.
So I was still like on there, and I hear Matt Riddle's voice pick up. "What'd you say?" And I looked up, and I'm like, and Seth Rollins is just going up and calling him a bitch ass and stuff. I'm like, wow, this is good shit. So
you don't see that every day.
I think I whipped out my Snapchat there and I recorded my screen, sent it to you and my brother. I'm like, what is going on? This is awesome. So I'm very much looking forward to this match. And I do not think this will be the only encounter between them. And I will save that when it's my turn to pick my winner.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Seth Rollins.
Yep.
And they'll probably do a 50-50 booking thing. But this match, what I like about this match also, aside from the promo, is that both of these guys, need a win. Especially Seth, because he hasn't had a whole lot of wins on pay-per-views, it seems like.
Oh, has he won one this year?
Oh, God. Maybe before Cody came back.
Well, no, we lost to Roman at Rumble.
Right.
He lost in the Chamber match.
Oh, my God. He's gone winless.
Lost to Cody 3 times.
3 times.
He lost the Money in the Bank ladder match. And SummerSlam, he wasn't on the card.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So, yeah, last time Seth Rollins won was probably Team Raw winning the Survivor Series last year, maybe?
Maybe. And it's interesting you brought up SummerSlam because this match was supposed to take place at this year's SummerSlam, but it got bumped off the card. I'm happy now about that decision. I think this is perfect for this kind of card here. But I'm going to go Seth, and I think what's going to happen is Matt Riddle is just going to get so frustrated. Either they could do the lazy way, which it's like a roll-up. Seth ekes one out, and this sends Riddle over the edge. But I think Riddle will either attack him with some kind of weapon, or he'll ignore the referee's discretion, and he'll just start beating the shit out of Rollins and end up getting DQ'd. So I think Rollins will win, but it will be a very heel win.
I also agree Seth Rollins will win. Whether it's by DQ, like you said, or cheating or pinfall, whatever. However, next month in October is the Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
That's what's up next.
So that's when Riddle will get his win because they'll either be in a cage, maybe the Fight Pit. Maybe they'll bring the Fight Pit from NXT. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh my God, I didn't think of that.
That's when Riddle will get his decisive win over Seth Rollins at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view in October. But for Clash at the Castle, I'm going with Seth freaking Rollins.
Yes, sir. And Kenny also went Seth, and so I guess we're all tied there too.
God damn.
And it seems like a predictable card on paper, but I mean, now that we're in the kind of new era, I mean, things could play out however way.
Oh yeah, we could be wrong in every one.
Oh yeah, but
I'd be surprised and confused.
Yeah.
But
But next up, tag team match, Edge and Rey Mysterio. Presumably Dominic will be in their corner versus the Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Damian Priest with Rhea Ripley in their corner, presumably. In the Raw opener, after beating AJ Styles, this week's Raw, after the Judgment Day beat Styles and Ziggler in a tag match, the Judgment Day called out Edge. Edge came out and said he did not come alone. The Mysterios jumped Finn and Priest from behind, hitting them with multiple kendo stick shots. Edge and Rey then took the two men out. Then it was only Dominic and Rhea left in the ring. After a long hesitation from Dominic, and this was a very long hesitation, he handed Rhea Ripley the kendo stick. Edge and Rey then returned to the ring, and they sent Judgment Day in retreat. So, yeah, Dominic didn't end up, swinging at least at Rhea. He just handed it to her. And, Edge and Rey came back so quick that we wouldn't have known if Rhea was going to hit him or not. But that was a interesting development, and that is probably going to play a big factor into this match. The way I see it, I think... Yeah, it's Edge and Mysterio. So if they lose, it doesn't. It's not the end of the world. Plus, Edge did beat Damian Priest in the Toronto Raw, which was, I believe, last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. It'll be 2 weeks on Monday.
Okay, so he already got the win there in his hometown. I think the Judgment Day, and they've been being booked, great so far. I've loved the Judgment Day on TV. And
me too.
They were going nowhere with Vince, but with Triple H, he really does. And he's like, he likes all three of those people. He made Finn the champ, and Priest had a decent run in NXT. Rhea, obviously, she was also
they were all champions in NXT. Priest had the North American, did he not?
Yes, he did, and it's cool to see a faction that's actually dominant, and I think nothing is going to change for this match. I'm going to go the Judgment Day. They're going to beat Edge and Rey, and I am going to predict a heel turn from Dominic because it's been brewing for so long. We saw some tension between Dominic and Edge a few weeks back. So besides that handshake they had this week, I think Dominic will turn on his father.
Yeah, we're on the same page here tonight. I'm also going with the Judgment Day. However, I don't think he's going to screw Rey. I think he's going to screw Edge. Dominic will do something that will cause Edge to lose.
And probably unintentionally.
Oh, well, who knows, right?
Yeah.
It's possible, but I think the Judgment Day will win. I think they need a win because they haven't got that big win yet. So,
definitely, yeah.
Especially since they kicked Edge out. They've just been kind of like, why'd you do that?
Yeah, didn't make much sense.
Yeah, I see the Judgment Day winning. Dominic will screw him, either intentionally or not intentionally. But if he does do it on purpose, it will be against Edge. So we'll probably have Dominic versus Edge on a Raw.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if Edge is going to take on a bigger schedule now that he's announced he'll be done in a year.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe he'll be at Extreme Rules. So maybe Extreme Rules will get Edge versus Balor again, and that's when maybe they'll do the Dominic heel turn. And tomorrow, maybe it'll be an accidental thing.
Yes.
So there's all kinds of things going on. I got this Extreme Rules next month in my head now, so I'm like...
There's nothing wrong with that, man. Sometimes you got to think ahead to...
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Triple H does that sort of thing. If this was the Vince era...
It'd be day to day.
Extreme Rules? Last year's Extreme Rules had one stipulation match, and it was that freaking main event where Balor started humping the floor, so...
I see. Oh my god, I hate that. I get it. If you name the match type or the pay per view the match type, I guess I could draw people in Hell in a Cell. I think that could probably draw a lot of people in.
Didn't the old way, when it was one night stand Extreme Rules?
Yeah.
Wasn't every match a different kind of stipulation?
Yeah, I think
that's how I like it.
Same here. I'd love for the Extreme Rules paper to be rebranded as Judgment Day. If Judgment Day get this win and they just go on this tear, And I mean, hell, I mean, would it be a little confusing? Yes, but it's such a good name for a fucking first F-bomb in the night for a pay-per-view.
You already did when you was quoting Riddle. It's all right.
Right. That's right. Okay, on my part, that was me quoting, but that's all. I get really amped up into this. Oh my, yeah, this is gonna be a fun episode here.
Yeah, we ain't getting a sponsor anytime soon if you keep it up there, Boro.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't know if I said this, but Kenny is also going for Judgment Day, so this will be a match to watch. Yes, he is.
Oh, that's kind of surprising. I figured Kenny would have been all over that Rey Mysterio edge.
Yeah, that's true.
That seems like a Kenny pick.
Yeah, they could win. I mean, it's not like... Yeah, who knows? But I'm looking forward to the match regardless. Next up on the card, WWE Smackdown Women's Championship match. Liv Morgan is defending against Shayna Basler. Liv Morgan had a controversial title defense at SummerSlam against Ronda Rousey after tapping into Ronda's armbar out of the referee's vision, and then she rolled up Ronda for the win, so it was a very cheap win, especially for a babyface. After Ronda beat up the referee at SummerSlam, she got fined and suspended on screen by WWE official Adam Pearce. On SmackDown last night, Pearce lifted Ronda's suspension since Ronda paid all her fines. Pearce said that he would have fired her if he could, and then he called her the single, and I quote, single biggest bitch he's ever met. Ronda then put Pearce in the armbar to close out that segment, so that was interesting. I don't think... Odd that Ronda isn't on the show. Maybe she'll play a role, but I'm still going to go for Liv Morgan, however way she wins, which it may be another cheap win. But yeah, I don't think Shayna's going to get the title right yet. But now that Triple H is in charge, she will at some point. I just don't think it's now.
Yeah, I'm also agreeing again. Liv Morgan, I think they're going to do... I think I seen a spot on his Twitter, Instagram, something. It was Matt Riddle was training Liv Morgan. And she was training her to... escape the... Is it the coquina clutch she does? Kinda? Or Karafuda clutch.
Karafuda. Yeah.
It's the... You've seen it happen with like Samojo before with his move, where they just roll them up for the pin while they're being choked at the same time. So I think that is a possibility, and maybe we'll get the tap out pinfall again. I wouldn't like that because they were already kind of pissed when Liv was getting booed after SummerSlam, so I think they should just give Liv the win off a roll-up sort of thing. That way they don't, kill this momentum they've built for Shayna after giving her none for, almost 2 years. So we'll go Liv Morgan with the whole... You can picture it in your head, the whole escape the submission by rolling them up thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe Ronda... I don't know if Ronda's there or not. Maybe she'll get involved after. Who knows?
Yeah, so they're doing... I don't know how the crowd is recepting to Ronda. I'm still not a fan of her promos, overall. But she's got this kind of... She's actually being a badass with her actions, beating up Adam Pearce and stuff. So I could see that turning a few people to like Ronda. But with Liv here, it's hard because it wasn't like before she won the title that, she was a world beater or, could overcome the... she's that underdog who relies on roll-ups, which can work sometimes. But when you got actual competition like Ronda and Shayna in the division, it's hard to picture Liv. If someone wasn't a fan and they looked at this on paper and they saw the match card, they'd probably be like, "Yep, Shayna's gonna kill her."
Yeah,
at Clash. Yeah. But I mean, it's gonna be hard. I think it's gonna be hard for Triple H to book Liv as champ for the foreseeable future because she's established. But I think it's gonna be hard for people to buy into her as champ. And listen, people wanted it. And I'll admit I wanted it too, but there's just with the men and women that's on in the company right now, it's everyone's gonna find the new favorite, and especially since Dakota Kai and Io Sky came back, and now Bayley's in the mix, it's very there's just a lot of women to root for now. So some are gonna get less popular over time.
Yeah. And it's always that typical underdog champion story that not everyone's gonna agree with, but I see this live run going better with the younger audience, if that makes any sense. Where the younger audience will want to cheer for the underdog, while like the hardcore marks would be like, okay, this ain't believable. But you can't cater to everybody. That's just not how the business works.
That's very true. Very true.
I'm a fan of Liv Morgan myself. I think she's very good. And I'm looking forward to her title run lasting a little longer. Maybe after the Shayna feud, she can pick up like wins over like Shotzi. Who else is on SmackDown right now?
Xia Li, I guess.
Xia Li.
That's not really a credible win.
Natalia, like Natalia. She can have a title defense against Natalia and win clean. And let's bring up Extreme Rules again next month. She'll have a weapons advantage that she can beat the shit out of somebody with.
That's very true.
I'm really advertising Extreme Rules unintentionally. I'm sorry. This is about Clash at the Champions or Clash at the Castle. My bad.
No, there's nothing wrong with that though. Like I said, you got to look for kind of further ahead to maybe get a gauge of what's going to happen now. And Kenny also is going to go Morgan over Basler, so we are all tied on that prediction. Now here is going to be maybe the decisive one. Undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns is defending against Drew McIntyre. On the August 26th edition of Smackdown, the Bloodline, including Sami Zayn, beat Drew down and stood tall over him to close out that show. And a little tidbit, a little side note here. Drew has been teasing for weeks that on his Twitter account that his old theme, Broken Dreams, could be making a comeback at the show.
Please. I've been waiting years for this, man. Ever since using that. It's been 10 years.
Oh, my God.
It's been 10 years since 3MB formed. And we haven't heard that song in 10 years, man. So we need this one, and we need Sheamus' song back, and then we'll have some money.
That's right. Getting those SVR 2011 vibes. Let us know if you catch on to that in the comments.
Man, nostalgia. And we just need to bring Evan Bourne back. I think his music's played all the time in the menus as well.
Well, he ain't doing much in AEW, so who knows. But anyways, to continue on with the rundown here. In the show closing segment of last night's SmackDown, the Usos and Sami Zayn hosted a 2-year championship celebration for their tribal chief, Roman Reigns. As Roman was just arriving to the arena, Drew McIntyre attacked him and hit Roman with a Claymore kick. Drew would then head down to the ring and took the Usos and Sami Zayn out as the show ended. So that was kind of clever in a way, because now that may throw a wrench. You would think going into the pay-per-view that Roman would, look strong.
Yeah.
And that would maybe give, which is a lot of the times the case. Like if you see the top heel champ, beat someone down, other than Roman and Brock Lesnar, usually they're, the babyface will win the title, whatever title that may be. But yeah, that was definitely a wrench thrown in. And this is very hard for me because if I was basing it off of what I wanted, I would love for Drew to win. Obviously, if Cody wasn't hurt, I still think Cody should be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns in the end. But since that's got to be booking for next year, early next year, and I mean we're still in September. This is going to be the tough one. Do you got any thoughts on this, Zach? I still got to think about this one.
You want me to make my pick first?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right. So, who has been missing from the Bloodline since SummerSlam?
That's very interesting. He seems
the wise guy, Paul
the
Heyman,
wise man.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Who has helped Roman Reigns defeat all of his challengers? The Usos and Paul Heyman.
That's right.
Paul Heyman's not going to be there tomorrow. The Usos will be, but who is going to be there is Sami Zayn. And I think that we are going to see the end of Roman Reigns' 2-year championship reign. And it's going to be all Sami Zayn's fault.
Oh, my God.
Drew McIntyre, it's not going to be Sami Zayn's fault. I think it's going to be like a simple screw up. Like,
yeah.
You remember the match? It was Jericho and whoever Moxley and Sammy went to throw the belt, or the baseball bat went flying.
Right.
I think Sami Zayn's going to try to throw the championship in, and he's either going to screw it up somehow or something. Sami Zayn's going to do something that will screw everything up. We're going to get a Claymore. We're going to get a new champion in Cardiff with Broken Dreams playing Drew McIntyre, the new Undisputed Champion. And on SmackDown, we are going to see the Bloodline kick the shit out of Sami Zayn. And Solo Sikoa is going to debut on SmackDown next week and help and take his spot. But Drew McIntyre will be the new champion tomorrow come this time. Mark my words, and it's going to go exactly how I described it. It's going to be Sami Zayn's fault for not being able to help Roman Reigns. And Drew McIntyre is going to be champion, and this will finally allow the titles to be split, because Drew McIntyre will be that guy that will be like, I want to defend both of them. Which will, well, that's booking for another time, but it gives Raw a title and SmackDown a title, and I can see we have that Mr. Money in the Bank Austin Theory. I can see him cashing in better on Drew than Roman, even though I see Drew going over Roman, if that makes any sense to you at all.
No, I definitely, I got...
Because, yeah. Not, like, a clean cash-in, obviously, but, yeah. Sami Zayn is going to die next Friday on SmackDown, or even Monday on Raw, due to the Bloodline ruining his life. Maybe get saved by Kevin Owens. It's gonna
because the Bloodline bleed between both shows, so it could happen anywhere. And I guess nothing's really stopping Owens from appearing on SmackDown.
And to hell with it, I'll book it. I'll predict it now. Kevin and Sammy will win the tag titles off the Usos, ending their reign as well.
Oh my god,
that little shit, Sami Zayn, who's been a thorn in the Bloodline side for all year, will be the reason they crumble, and it's gonna be amazing. Because Sami Zayn deserves a prominent spot on the card after years of hard work, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
So, Drew McIntyre, new Undisputed Champion. Final prediction. Justin, what do you think?
I love that. You talked about that with me on the phone earlier, and I forgot about it, but now that you bring it up, it's all coming back. I really do like that booking, and I hope that's what happens. And what I would have loved for them to do on like SmackDown this week, or last night, technically, or a few hours ago, whatever, at the time of this recording. Now, Drew obviously beat down everybody. He beat up everyone to close the show. If he would have laid in the shots on Usos more and just actually took them out so they couldn't be at Clash, because they don't got a tag title match, so I mean, they don't really need to be at the show. So, what I would have loved for them to do is just for Drew to just beat the Usos specifically to a bloody pulp. He goes to, beat up Sami Zayn, but Sami squirrels away. So, then it's, like you said, it's all up to Sami to help Roman. Paul's gone. The Usos, they're out of commission due to Drew. And they could still do that. I'm not saying that's out of the question. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's reports of who's flown in. But, I mean, hey, if... I wouldn't use the Usos on the show. I'd say they're hurt, and Sammy was the only one to get out relatively unscathed. And yeah, he ends up botching it, whatever happens, and Drew ends up winning. I'm also going to go Drew McIntyre, probably out of personal bias, but also I really want that idea to, hopefully we're willing it into the universe. But,
yeah, hopefully someone hears us and be like, let's change the finish. Come on.
That's right.
Let's do it.
Yes, but no,
and adding to that, I can see it now, like the 6-man tag matches, Drew, Kevin, and Sammy versus Usos and Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns takes his time off, whatever. Perfect
booking. But I love all those ideas. I think that should be the avenue they go down, and I am going to go Drew along with Zach. Kenny he's flipping the script on us here. He's going to go Roman Reigns, and that's not a bad pick, I don't think. Because
you can never go wrong with picking Roman Reigns.
No, there's merit to both of those picks.
There's been quite a few times where I've picked against Roman Reigns and been wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I'll admit it now. I predicted Cesaro last year, so
Yeah.
And we see what happened there.
But yeah, I think that either way this goes down, I think that I see now to close out the predictions video. If we're talking about the future, so after Extreme Rules, I don't see the titles being split up when we get to Survivor Series. However, what I see them doing is that what could happen, say Roman or whoever's the champ, they're gonna have both titles. They could start doing the brand thing, have the on-screen officials or whoever, because Adam Pearce, he's either got to be on Raw or SmackDown, have him on one of the shows, and then have someone else, in on the SmackDown side or whoever. But then they could do like, okay, Drew, the networks or whoever the powers that be want the titles, where the brand split's happening. No more wild card or people popping up on both shows. They're going to want the title split. So, say Karrion Kross, you're going to defend the WWE title against him or whatever, and then that would make the show very predictable because if the title's going to be split. But I mean, I don't see what else they could really do that would make a whole lot of sense, But it's hard. It's hard to say.
I know last night I had this chat while I was on my throne. I predicted what I would like to happen. Drew McIntyre has the belts. Theory cashes in during a WWE title match, Seth Rollins style. Do the heist of the century for Theory. Maybe it'll be Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship. Theory does that. Theory continues his feud with Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano wins the belt off Theory. I know we have some short reigns. Eventually, Seth Rollins wins the WWE title and goes into WrestleMania against... I think it's obvious at this point who's going to return and win the Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah. Unless something really bad happens.
Mr. Nightmare himself.
Yes, sir, Cody Rhodes.
For WrestleMania. Rock and Roman will go on without the title. Life is good. It's Triple H's era.
That's right.
That's it for me for now.
Perfect booking. I like it, and we want to hear from you
folks,
guys.
I'm a fantasy booker.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I suppose playing universe mode for over 10 years, it happens. Playing with action figures as a kid up until what? Let me see here. 5 minutes ago. No, 2016. I think it was 2017. Who cares? Action figures. You fantasy book that shit.
The
universe mode.
Zack Ryder Fig Fed.
Oh yeah, universe mode. I think there's a mode before that. What was it called there? Pay-per-view mode.
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah, pay-per-view mode. That shit was fun too.
Yeah,
fantasy booking my whole life. So
for sure. And that's the thing. Like overall, this show should be pretty damn good. I'm
looking forward to it. The matches, the outcomes, we've predicted them the same, so maybe they are predictable. But the quality is going to be excellent, I think.
Definitely. And,
that before we match, especially.
So before we wrap up the predictions for Clash of the Castle, let's do another thing. Let's kind of say what we think is going to be the match of the night. As much as I want to say Gunther and Sheamus, well, you know what? See, it's because I don't really see anything being blown off on this show. Not really. Like, nothing's going to end. Like, no feuds are really going to end yet. So, I think as of right now, we're going to get some kind of weird finish, I think, with Matt and Seth's match. So, my match of the night, it's going to go to Gunther and Sheamus. Zach, what say you?
Well, yeah, like I said, Drew and Roman will be good. It won't be match of the night because it's just not the workhorse thing. They can do it. They can do it. I may be wrong. We may be
especially if Drew's going to win, this definitely should get as much time as they need to get all the pieces and the story bits out.
Don't go too long, though.
No.
Don't go too long.
That's right.
Rollins and Riddle.
Which they might, too, because if you think about it, I mean, it is a 6-match card, so they're going to try... I mean... Triple H loves his long matches, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just sometimes we saw it with NXT Black and Gold.
Yeah,
and
Takeovers had 4 matches and 2 hours long, 2.5 hours.
We won't be getting any 10-minute matches on the pay-per-view. I can't see it. Each match will have its length, probably 15 minutes and up, I would have to say.
Yeah, Gunther and Sheamus is going to be very hard-hitting. But I'm going to go Riddle Rollins is match of the night. For
sure.
We'll say the Meltzer rating match of the night.
Yeah.
But my personal favorite match, I think, will be Roman and Drew if we get the Broken Dreams and the whole McIntyre winning. If that doesn't happen, match of the night will probably be Gunther and Sheamus. But I'm most looking forward to the main event.
Same here, definitely. And we'll try to get a review pumped out. It just the school season starting, and the work season as well. So
the work grind never stops, baby.
That's right. We will try our best, guys. But before we wrap up the predictions, we want to know your thoughts. Don't be shy. If you got an opinion, within reason. Yeah, don't get too. Let's not get too volatile in the comments. But
don't shit on me for my booking skills, folks. They're all. I get really sensitive about that stuff. I might call you a bad name in the comments.
Oh.
I might call you a poopy head. Don't mess with BrokenZack. He's a crazy man from parts unknown.
He'll be sending you those John Cena 2010 insults, but on Monday Night Raw. But
I'll pull out a 2014 Roman promo on you.
Oh god,
full of suffering succotash, son.
But yeah, anyways, keep it civil, and we do want to know your guys' thoughts. What match are you most looking forward to, and what outcomes do you see happening after this pay-per-view? Let us know in the comments, and also share this video, because this is going to go on a separate video on YouTube. So make sure to like, share, and get your friends involved, see what they think. All right, so that wraps up Clash at the Castle.